A teenager from Queens is in serious condition this morning, just the latest victim of an explosion of gun violence here in the city.
Since last Friday, more than 60 people have been shot, 11 have died, and now city and state leaders are weighing in on what they think is behind this uptick. CBS 2's John Diaz live in St. Albans, Queens with the latest this morning. John?
Yeah, good morning, Chris and Marion. That teenager, according to authorities, went into surgery last night, but as you mentioned, still in serious condition this morning, though expected to be okay. Still a long road to recovery for him, but is expected to pull through. As for the gunman here, in this case, though, that gunman still on the run this morning. Police telling us still looking for whoever pulled the trigger. The teenager, though, just the latest victim, though, in a series of ongoing gun violence. This morning, New York City is still dealing with a drastic rise in gun violence, a destructive and violent 4th of July weekend trickling into the work week with 4 shootings on Monday and 5 shooting victims, including a teenage boy shot in the neck and torso in Queens. Last night, Mayor Bill de Blasio weighing in on what he thinks is the cause.
But listen to what Commissioner Shea said, because he points to that perfect storm. And he points to what is happening overall because of the coronavirus, including the shutdown of the court system. And that's really, if you talk about another reason why a lot of people are on the street who would otherwise be incarcerated because the court system was functioning, that's a big piece of this equation, too.
The Democratic mayor saying everyone has to participate in bringing back the system fully.
And there are real health challenges, logistical challenges to doing that, but we've got to get the system up and running so that when the police find someone who's committed a crime, particularly a violent crime, and they arrest them, there is a consequence, there is a follow-through that right now inherently just can't happen consistently enough because the courts are not operating on that kind of scale.
In the past week, there were 101 victims of shootings citywide compared to 33 the same week last year, a 206% increase. Similar to de Blasio on Monday, NYPD top brass blamed a multitude of factors for the rise in crime, including the release of prisoners from Rikers Island to avoid overcrowding and the spread of coronavirus. They say in June, 275 inmates released were rearrested 550 times.
On top of all this, the courts have been shut down, and many individuals who are indicted by a grand jury on gun charges are not in jail, but instead are free, or waiting for the courts to open up.
The top spokesman for the state court system calls the assertion absurd, claiming, quote, the courts have operated continuously throughout the pandemic, arraigning defendants, holding hundreds of hearings, and conferencing thousands of cases. NYPD Chief of Department Terrence Monahan also points to bail reform and district attorneys.
The district attorney's reluctance to prosecute quality of life crimes.
Queens CA Melinda Katz says the issue is more complex than that.
We need to work with the communities. They need to feel safe about reporting. They need to feel safe about witnesses, being witnesses in our cases.
Monahan also blames the crime spike on the rise of anti-crime rhetoric and reform signed into law last month, criminalizing the use of chokehold by a police officer.
Now, as officers try to fight crime, they must take pause before making an arrest.
Fact, there has been anti-police rhetoric. Leading to what is the question?
Now, later on today, there will be a virtual meeting on bills pertaining to public safety as well as the NYPD, including a bill that would give the right to the public to film police activity generally, and also a bill that puts a ban on chokeholds. We are live this morning from St. Albans, Queens. John Diaz, CBS 2 News.
John, thank you.